Londres.
Tribalism is a funny thing. In a situation where people feel under threat or they feel that they've had to pick sides, they behave in irrational ways. That indeed is why wars start. The American Revolution began because neither side was prepared to pay the increased taxation required to garrison the North American colonies. It ended up with both the British Parliament and the colonists paying way, way more than the sum that had originally been in dispute in order to prosecute the cost of a war against each other. And so it seems with our post-referendum arguments about the EU. The day of the referendum, as the results came in, I appeared on the BBC and called for a moderate, gradual recovery of power that would reflect the narrowness of the result. In successive videos with Ici Londres, I've suggested that we should have a Swiss-type arrangement. But of course, it was the fate of any proposal for moderation to be shot down by both sides. In this strange virtue signalling purity that overcomes people in these situations, Remainers, instead of arguing for a form of outcome that would preserve some of our existing links, went down the road of demanding a second referendum, while Leavers eschewed any form of compromise and started trying to prove that each was kind of harder and more virile in his preference for a particular kind of Brexit than another. Any idea was shot down if it was proposed by the other side, whatever its intrinsic merits. People became less interested in the practicalities than in showing themselves to be pure to their own tribe. But let me just ask you a question. Whether you voted Leave or whether you voted Remain. Look at what's now being proposed. An almost permanent transition, because the EU will have no incentive to end it, where we are full members without voting rights, where we're subject to the common agricultural policy, the common fisheries policy, the budget contributions, the customs union, free movement, the rest of it. How is that better, either way round, than having grabbed an EFTA-type solution? There's still time to pull out of this nosedive, but only if we're prepared to put aside the partisanship and concentrate on the national interest.